crafters and bestie lovers, welcome to the hop. This quarter it is called My Favorite Holiday Hop with the Besties. So I've chosen Valentine's Day and here's my project. Isn't she cute? I think she is just fabulous. She is about the size of my hand, so she's about 5 inches tall. And later on in the video you get to see a little tutorial about how I colored her, tutorial about how I decorated the can itself. But right now, before I get into that, I want to give you a little bit of the rules. So there are 7 of us in the hop. If you're here, I'm the first one, so you've got 6 more to go. Don't worry if you're not starting at number 1 and you came back to me, that's just fine. The link of all 7 of our names should be in the description box below of every video, so it should be easy to follow along. Make sure that you subscribe to each channel and leave a nice comment. Then, if you get all the way to number 7, you're going to send an email with the title My Favorite Holiday, and you're going to send it to Sandy's email, which is scrapbookblessingsclub@yahoo.com, in the description box below, so don't worry if you didn't catch that. And then one random winner chosen on June 20th will win a 3D sheet, a card topper sheet, and a digital image of your choice. Also, I don't know about the other ladies, they can all offer this if they want, but on my channel I am giving one random winner from all the comments I get from this video will win this digital image. So I really hope you like her. I chose her because she's super fun. You can use her for almost anything, but she's making a little heart above her eye. Do you see that? That's why she's so Valentine-ish to me. I just love her. So hop along with us. I hope you enjoy all the projects and all the fun that we're going to have. And stick around. First I'm going to show you a coloring tutorial, and then next will be how I decorated the box. So I'm going to start out with her skin, and the markers that I'm using are CR2, CR4, and FS3. And as I color with them, I'm going to take the caps off so that hopefully you can see them with this all fast forwarded, or not fast forward I mean, but close-up view. So FS3 is what I'm starting off with. There we go. And I'm just going to go over most of where her skin is. So her hands, her arms, any exposed skin on her legs. And of course her face. I obviously use these colors quite a bit, as this one is already drying out. So I will have to be going back to get some more. Okay, and then to make it just a little bit darker, I'm adding in a CR2. So where there would be some shadows coming from the hair or from the arms here, cast upon her face, around her eyes, underneath her chin. I'm not an expert on shadows, so you can add them in wherever you think that they should be. Did a little bit of her leg down here that I did. And then I'm going back to that other color, FS3, and I'm just going to go over where I just put on that color to make sure that it blends in. Now I know a lot of Copic colorists, they go over and over their colors.
and they use 3 different colors to blend. I have another color that I could blend in, but I may choose not to do that, so it just depends. I am using this last color though, the CR4, which is a dark pink, so I want to make sure that I have the CR2 ready, because as I go through this, it's very dark, as you can see. I'm just going up through her cheek and then down. And then I'm going to go over the top of the whole thing and blend it in with that other color. This one, CR2. And I'm just going to add a little bit more dark to the bottom here on her legs, so it'll look like it's shadowed by her pants. And go over some of this other skin at the top a little bit more. And then to blend that color in, the CR4, I'm also going to add that color to her lips. There we go. Next I'm going to do her eyes, and this might seem like a really odd combination, but I want her eyes to really stand out, so I'm using these 3 colors. They are BT7, CG4, and CT4, and as I use them I'll try to put them out again. So I'm going to start with the lightest color on the bottom, and that is the CT4. That one's really hard to see, you know, because it's all rubbed off. So I'm just putting that at the very bottom. And then I'm following up with the green, which is a CG4. And then going back in with the CT4 and blending that out. And then adding in the BT7 at the very top of her eye. And then I'm going to go back in with the green, the CG4. And blend that in with the teal color. And I don't want quite as much of that yellow, so I was getting rid of a little bit of that. And I'm going to go back in with the yellow again and blend it out. Okay, and then my other tip, because whenever I do that, I tend to go, well, and plus I'm working way above the camera, so it's hard for me to see how I'm doing. I'm going to go back in with my white gel pen, and I'm going to white out the parts where my color went right into her eye on the bottom here. Okay, to make her eye look exceptionally white there again. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some color to her hair, and I've got a bunch of different colors here. I've got some browns, which are, there we go, EB8, EB5, and EB3, and then I have a tan, a TN4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with the tan, which is the lightest color. And I'm going to kind of put in where I want these hair colors to fall. And then I'm going to come back in with my darker colors and add the rest of that. So basically I want kind of a highlight in each one of those little kind of braidey things here. And this is where I like the Copics, where they can flick, you know. And you can do that with these. You can flick them. With some of the tips are really kind of small. And some of them, some of the Spectrum Noirs aren't really quite that small. I don't know what the difference is in the nibs, but some of them are really very pointed like this one. And some of them are just flatter and wider and really hard to work with. So then I'm going to start with the next darker of the two, because I might not want to use fully dark of all of this. And I'm just going to go over the ones I already have. But I'm not going to go as far as I did with those. Because you can always go over with the color that you did before and blend that out. And then you can always go back in and add another darker color if you want, which I may do. Okay, so I'm going to come back in with that tan, especially on this top part here. And I'm going to go out a little bit further, but I'm going to follow where I went with that dark color. Just so that there's only a little bit of white showing in between each one of these, and it darkens it up somewhat. Okay, so the light or the white parts that I'm leaving are like, you know, the shining parts, the place where the light hits her hair. And I just make them up. I mean, I'm not a colorist. I didn't study art. I didn't go and study how light falls on things. I just go by what my gut tells me and by how it looks. I also watch a ton of videos of other popular colorists. The one that I really like is Marie Gamber. Hi Marie, if you're watching. I do watch her videos, and I do learn a little bit from her. Like I said, I don't heartily study it, so some of my images don't come out, you know, as perfect as what you would think it should be, or how it should look if you use Copics or anything like that. Now I'm going to focus on these, the bottom part, her jeans that are coming out from underneath that cute little dress. And I'm using these three colors, TB5, TB4, and TB3, and they actually look really different colors. They totally do. So I'm going to start out with my lightest color, which is this TB3. And I'm just going to outline and color in these jeans. I find that if you go slow around the edges, it's going to, the ink's going to sit there longer. And then if you go fast on the center, it's not going to have as long to seep in, so you're automatically going to have a lighter spot in the center, which is basically, it's already highlighted, I guess you could say. You don't have to work so hard at it. So, you know, drag your pen slowly along the outside edges. More ink will fall, you'll get a darker look. And then color the inside quickly. And then as it dries and as it dries out, you can see you're already getting that colored look. It's really neat. So the next one I'm going to take is the 4, and I might not use them all. So here's the TB4. And I just want to go, this one has a very fine tip, so I'm just going to add in some darker spots here. Basically I'm following the little marks that they already have in the image. That makes it a lot easier for people like me who don't study to find where we should be putting those marks. So I really like that. Sherry Baldy's images are super easy to color. I like the way that looks. I don't want to go any darker, but I do want to blend that out some, so I'm going to take my marker that I used before, this one, TB3, and I'm just going to go along the outline a little bit of what I just did with that darker color so that it blends. And I like the look of that, so I'm going to stop there. You can totally go darker. You can add another even darker color around the edge, but I'm satisfied with that, so I'm going to stop there. Okay, next part I'm going to focus on is her dress, and a part of her dress I want to do in these colors, which is a yellow. I have CT1, CT4, and CT2, so I'm starting out obviously with the lightest one. And I want this part of her dress to be yellow, not the polka dots, but the stuff around it. And I'm going to make it multicolored like I did with her eyes and stuff, just because I want to add in more colors. It's going to go really well with the washi tape finish that I'm going to do on the container. So if you want to skip ahead and see what I do on the container, you can do that. Otherwise, you can watch me finish this part. So this is CT2, and I'm just going to make it look like there's some darker areas coming from some of the corners, and then make this look like it's kind of sitting on top by creating a shadow around it. And then back in again with the C1 to blend those in. And then you can see as that fades, you'll start seeing the darker parts more. So I'm going to add in a little bit of CT4 to make that even stand out more. Not quite as much of this. And then blend it back out with the CT2. And then finish off some blending with the last CT1 again. That was a little bit more of a traditional blend if you're using Copics and you're using 2 or 3 different colors. And like you know, if you look, you can see that it's pretty much the same as blending the other colors. If you only have 1 or 2 colors, you don't have 3 or 4, you can make it work. Alright, and next I'm going to use a purple color. I'm going to finish off the rest of her dress, so I'm using some L's. This is an LV1. It's a light purple, so I'm going to go over this bottom part of her dress with this light color. Again, dragging around the edges and then filling in quickly in the middle. Because then I'm going to automatically, like again before when I did the jeans, I'm automatically going to get a lighter color on the inside. And then my next one is an LV2. So I'm going to highlight these little, what do you call these? I don't know, these little flaps in her dress. Make those stand out a little bit more by going around each one with a little bit darker color. And then come back in with the original color that I used before and blend those out. A lot of times going over and over it in an up and down or even a circular motion will really help blend those out. I like the look of that. So I'm going to continue on her dress up here so that this all matches with this purple. Okay, and add in a little bit of the LV2. Again, just where I want to make some shadows. and then smooth it out with the LV one again. Now, I left some light parts. I left, that one was an accident. Let me fill that one in. And give it a little bit of a shadow here. But what I'm talking about are the lines and the polka dots and these two little straps. I left those white on purpose because sometimes a little white space goes a long way. If you don't have everything fully colored in, it just seems to stand out more. Now I may change my mind later on and add a little bit in there if I need another color, especially if I add the washi tapes and I feel like I need to add some more. But that's all the color I'm going to do for this video. I'll do some more if you want to do more coloring videos, but I left off the shoes and the bows, but in the finished product you'll get to see that. I've got tons of washi tape that I want to use on this, and I'm just going to remove the lid, and all I did was remove the paper from the outside, and I'm just going to go right over the top of this stuff. If it really sticks out badly, then maybe I'll put a strip down one side, or maybe I'll put her on that side, you know, to cover it up. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do, and I kind of went by the colors that I used on her. So I'm going to start with this piece over the top, at the very top. Alright, and so now that you kind of got to see that process, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to speed this part up. So for the finishing touches, now that I've got all the washi tape on there, I have the cover to contend with, and so I have a 2.5 inch punch that seemed to work really well to go on there, and I'm going to use ATG tape to make that stay. And I just picked a piece of scrap paper that I had laying around that was yellow that would kind of match her dress. And then, so that's going to go on there, on the top, to finish that off. I'm not going to worry about the bottom. And then for her little flowers here, I want to put a little gem in the middle of those to make them stand out a little bit more. So I have this stick tool, and I like to use the end of it to push on that glue to release those, and then I can push them on where I want them to go. So I'm going to put one on each one of the flowers. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It was tempting, you know, I thought about maybe putting them on all of her little polka dots on her dress, but I think I'm going to just stick to that. Okay, get that out of the way. And then I don't want her to be adhered to the can rounded. I want her to kind of stand out. So I'm going to run a piece of tape straight down her and stick her on like that, so she actually stands out from the can. And again, it's going to cover up all those little overlapping tapes, at least most of them. And if she doesn't stay, I guess another thing that I could try would be hot glue, just to make sure she doesn't come off of there. But that is the end of my project. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and for watching the coloring portion if you did so, and watching how I repurposed and upcycled this can. I believe it used to have drinking stuff in it, like Kool-Aid, little Kool-Aid packets. So have a great day, and I'll see you guys next video.